Conversation with Lady O. I am gonna show you just fair use. Actually, I'm not gonna be playing the person's video. Just wanted you to see what I'm working with right now. And so this person's content was spoken of on another person's video. So I always like to research. I have heard of the names. The names sound very familiar. And in the name sounding familiar, I said, let me go and research that, because that name's, I think I've heard that name before. And in doing so, as soon as I saw the person's face, I'm like, yes, I remember. So his name is Dr. Myles Munroe. And I'm currently looking at this video. And I'm not playing any of his content, but this is the video I'm looking at. Because I went on his page and I'm like, let me see what got my attention. So first, he has an animated section. If you go to his page, an animated section. One was about why men need sex, and it was a animation on top of the voice was his sermon, and then they're doing animation for it. It's a pretty cool concept. But anyhow, it was a little short. It was like a little 2 minute, those shorts, right? So I said, let me see what else is there. So this title came to me. Not came to me, I saw it and it spoke to me. Because I'm right now doing my master's in divinity. And I've had to take theology along the way. And I've also done my undergrad, my degree in religious education. So many courses that is under my belt for that, and theology is one of them. So obviously this jumped out to me because I want to hear what he's about. So I am, as you could tell, I'm halfway through it. I am 32 minutes into it, and I got sad. I'm actually going to show you my this is what I put, this is what I wrote. I'm just sad. I'm sad. You can pause it and read it in its fullest. I'm sad when I look at these things because of, again, my journey. And in this video, he talked about his own journey through many different denominations. And similar to him, I've gone through, just because of family roots and my background. So in my country, there's a mixture of everything, right? So in the Caribbean, we also have the plethora of different religion because of different people coming in and they bring their religion with them. Then you come to Canada, right? And then you're exposed to the multiculturalism. And then you have the Christian denominations that will do the evangelism, and they always come to the islands because they always need to save the islands, right? We're always third world, right? So we need the gospel. And their version of the gospel is the same version that they had told our ancestors during slavery time. Their version and how the gospel looks, and the identities and the character traits of all the characters in the Bible, and what your Savior looks like and what your God looks like. And everything was through the lens of Anglo-Saxonism, period. And that also gave them a sense of superiority. No matter how much people want to argue, it did. And it still does. The superiority idea and belief that you are the ones who are civilized and you're the one that's bringing the truth and bringing freedom to people's mind, but in fact you're actually enslaving them, and what you inherited was not given to you by your forefathers. Your forefathers took it from the original people and then genocided those original people, took their identity as yours, exiled them, tell them it's biblical for you to have done that to them because this is what their punishment is. And in truth, that is. However, the twisted way in teaching it and the twisted way of handing it down to their descendants, ensure that you stayed superior. The truth of the gospel, and it comes back to why I'm saying I'm very disappointed when I see people like this, that still, as much as educated they are in all their theology, they know the truth. And this is why my heart bleeds. And I'm just sad. I'm in a melancholy state right now, even though I sound passionate, and people might call it angry, but I'm not. It's just passionate. That's just the DNA in my blood. We're passionate people. When we're passionate, we just talk loud. It's just who we are. But my spirit is very melancholy. I would say sad. I wouldn't say depressed. I'm just sad. Just very melancholy. Just to see the level of hidden truth that remained with these mighty men within Christendom, Christianity. Mighty men like Dr. Myles Munroe. There's no way he could tell me, as he himself, I wouldn't say brags, but he laid out his credentials in the beginning of this video about his 5 PhDs and him being able to acquire degrees, 4 degrees within the same span of time, and then multiple masters, and then he has 5 PhDs. So he lays it out, not to brag, but he lays it out to show his credentials. And then later on, up until this point that I paused it, he was also laying out the many denominations that he went through, his wife went through. And he said that not to brag, but to say he knows it. And this is why I had to pause, because I'm like, there's no way with everything that you just laid out that you cannot tell me, Dr. Myles Munroe, that you don't know the truth about the real identity of the children of Israel, the real identity of these scriptures, of the prophets, of the kings, the real identity of the line of Abraham and Abraham's identity, Abraham, Sarah, Sarai, the true Hebrew, even their names, and then the identities. He laid a very good case here in regards to tying everything back to Rome and Catholicism and King James and the different, just he lays it out. So I put a pause in here, and maybe as I see the rest he might answer, but I have to put a pause because it just got very weighty in my spirit. My spirit just got very heavy and sad, because I'm recording this January 1st 2025, Gregorian calendar 2025 at 9:13 p.m. Eastern time. And I say all that to say, because in my journey of pursuing truth, because I had my, as they would say, come to Jesus moment, but I had my come to truth moment in 2012 when I had a wake-up call at a level that I would not wish on my own enemy. And my own enemy apparently wished it on me. And it's someone, just like many of us, people that we went the mile for, we did good to, and they turned around and turned our good into an evil intent for them. They turn your kindness and they So I had my moment in 2012 where my life was before me. Life and death was before me. Spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally. I know over the times, and people that's crossed my path always ask me when I'm going to do my book. I actually had a sister friend that texted me randomly sometime a couple months ago and said, are you done your book yet? And I'm like, I'm on chapter 7, I tell her. I keep telling people I'm chapter 7 because I really am on chapter 7, just hasn't moved. And I'm proofreading, and I've had so many bad experiences, 2 negative experiences in this book journey. A ghostwriter that took my money and literally ghosted me. Thank God for PayPal and MasterCard and email threads where they were able to honor and get my money back. Even though it passed the deadline, they were able to honor the last time I communicated with her to find out when it's going to be done. And it was just a horrible, and it's sad because I gave her so much hours of my time as a ghostwriter. Like, you talk it and then they transcribe it after. So, and then I did it again with another publishing company, and it just, again, that was not a good experience. So I able to get my money back. So I'm just exhausted of telling the story, honestly. Because the first time I went around with the ghostwriter, I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place. I'm going to come back to this. Trust me, I'm coming back. It's all coming back around. Just trust and believe. With the ghostwriter, you pour yourself out. And with her, it was hours of when I was actually driving back and forth to my children's school, because I paid for private school outside of Toronto, Christian school, mind you. And even that, I have my own my own story on that journey. I'm telling you, the stories we all have and the journeys we all have in this human experience, all about trying to do better for your children and giving your children better than you. And the sacrifice that many of us have done to give our children better. And the people that have disappointed along the way. And I am always going to be more harsh on the religion, because you keep professing yourself to be better. We didn't call you better. You're the one out there saying that you are the better, that you are the way, that you are the truth, that you are the best option. You're the only option. You're the one that's going around evangelizing the whole world, spreading your gospel, putting a spell over the people about your God spell. And you're the one that erects yourself as the light of the world and the salt of the world and the truth of you are the one. We didn't say you are the ones that are walking around saying that you're better than everybody else. You're the best choice. You're the only choice to be saved. It's you guys. We don't come knocking. You guys coming to our islands and evangelizing us and crusades and Billy Graham us and all of that. Joyce Meyering us and Rod Parsleying us and Creflo Dolling us and Morris Torelloing us and John Hagee in us and what's the other one that saw? You know the one. All of them. You're the ones. We're on our islands, we're in our country, minding our business, and you come in with a storm, right? And you preach this God spell. And then you tell us to put our trust in your God and the spell you put over us in regards to we are now faithful. We're believers. And with you guys know within you have predators, you have liars, you have thieves, you have murderers, you have backstabbers, you have homewreckers, you have dream killers, you have energy vampires, you have racists, you have bigots. You know within you have that, but then you cover it and then you then say, oh, the church is like a hospital, ain't nobody this. And like you know you have this, you guys know you have all these disgusting entities within, but then you cover it with grace. And you come and project a certain thing, and then you allow people to bleed and get hurt all over again, and then you require us. Let me tell you, you guys are sick. I'm just... You all are sick people. I'm not just saying sick as in, no, you're sick, you're demented. You're evil. You're disgusting. Who does that? Who knows that they are infected, but you go out and you do surgery on people and then you spread your infection? Who does that? Only wicked, evil, selfish, narcissist people do that. Like, you fully refuse to heal yourself. You refuse to take the big log out of your eye, but you're going around evangelizing and crusading and want to take out other people's eyes, but you have big logs in your own eye. How dare you with your filthy, dirty hands? You guys are just sick. You're just, and then and this is my thing, is like, why am I here? Because I didn't want to be here. When I say here, meaning doing masters in divinity, because I've done everything to stay away from you people. Your God knows. And I say your God because I'm in the truth of the lies you guys have been spreading. Now you keep alive because of your superiority complex. Like, you just refuse to let it go, because then what would be your identity? If you let that complex go, what would be your identity? But it comes back to men like this, Dr. Myles Munroe. They cannot say they don't know what I know, because I'm a babe, if you want to call it, into this thing. And you guys have been around the block. You can't tell me you don't know and you did not know that this whole thing was a lie. The constructs are a lie, and the truth and the true people are us. The truth as to why we are who we are and why we behave the way we behave and why we're doing the things we're doing and why people hate us so much. Why they do everything to keep us at the bottom, why they keep us in the state of oppression and depression and relying on them. Why they keep telling us that we need them. Why then they tell us to pull up our own bootstraps, but then when we do, they destroy the same straps and the boots that we're pulling up, and they cut the laces and then say find new laces, and then we go find new laces, and then they sabotage our boots, and then they put stuff in our boots, and we put our feet in our boots, our feet bled, and then they say, oh, like, why do they hate us so much? Why are we on attack? And then they say, oh, stop being the victim. But you create and perpetuate the victim mindset. But when we do stand up and we do come into a truth that makes it make sense, and we're like, oh, then you throw the anti-Semitism. Why you professing hate? Color doesn't matter. When we talk truth, then you say, oh, we're speaking hate. We're speaking division. Really? Are we? No. Actually, no. No, you know what? That's the card that you keep playing. But my hurt is that men like Dr. Myles, they know the truth. There's no way you could tell me, if when you watch this video up until the 30-minute mark, this man knows enough. As I said, I'm going to press play, and maybe after this, he's going to prove me wrong, where he's going to say what he should be saying. But I doubt it. I doubt it. You know why I doubt it? Because in 2024 is when this truth came to me. And for the magnitude of the platform of who Dr. Myles Munroe is, if he did know this and he had said it already, it wouldn't take that long to get around to 2024. And people are still blind in 2025 to the truth about who we really are, who the melanated people, who we really are. And then in knowing that, peeling back the onion that's going to make us cry, yes, about those within our own skin color who align themselves to perpetuate the lie and keep the line going because somebody has to be at the top. Apparently, that's a lie that many believe, and that's why capitalism and many of you guys want Trump back. But let me tell you about truth. Let me tell you something about truth. Truth is going to be heard, and truth is going to be experienced. It's always in the best interest that you just let it be. However, The hurt comes from when truth is finally encountered. The people who are going to turn around and they're going to seek revenge, and not just revenge in a physical way. That's the thing about certain people. When they hear that, they get all afraid, and that's why you have like, calm down, because trust me, this type of truth, the revenge that this truth is gonna have, Elon Musk, and all of his ingenuities, of all of his humanism and all of his AI and all of the stuff that you guys put up to attack truth, it's not going to work. This is what I know in my gut to be true. It doesn't matter how many generations you skillfully erect with your lies to hide the lie. No matter how many generations you create to perpetuate your lies to hide the truth, the laws, natural law, you can never outlive and outrun natural law. It's just, so it's one of those things that you guys know. When I say you guys, the people who knows the truth, you know that there is an end to it, but you just try to stretch it out as long as generationally possible. And you know the truth is that the truth is that the longer you take for truth to be revealed, yes, the more time you have to play your games, but you know it's going to come to an end. And the real sad part of how it's going to come to an end is that your own is going to turn on you. And you know that to be true. And your own is going to turn on you because when they realize how long you have kept this lie going, and how long you've kept them in the dark, and in you keeping them in the dark was just about you. It was not about them. It really was about you staying at the top and living this life of luxury at the top, when in truth, we all could be benefiting. We all could be living a life of ease, grace, and flow. But you, in your selfishness, require only you to have access to it, and the rest of humanity be your slave to generate your wealth for you and your children to live in a lap of luxury. When your own finds out the truth about what you have been doing for the past thousands of years and who has been keeping the lie going, your own is going to turn on you. And you know this to be true. That is why you're creating all these digital currencies and all these alternatives, because you know you're trying to find a way where you can still somehow. But trust me, we're going to go along with your go alonging. But just like me, there's many of us who are just going to get fed up, and we're just going to tell the truth. Dr. Myles Munroe, I am very disappointed in all of your knowing, in all of your knowledge. You did not tell the truth. It says in all of your getting, get understanding. Get your you guys know this. And you stay quiet. Why? Why? Is it because you still desire to be the hierarchy of? Deep down, there is that sense of ego, of needing to be at the top. Truly, you do not want equality, because equality would mean that your children and children's children will be equal like everybody. Like, we still need a hierarchy, even in religion, Christendom, ministry. Like, look at the Daystar drama that just ended off 2024. And then we have Denzel Washington and his baptism that's ushering in another 4 years to get ready for the next election. I know what the Holy Spirit already showed me. Ruach Kodesh already showed me, and I've purposed in myself to start using the correct Hebrew name before English language came and added to the lies to keep us as far away from possible. So I've tasked myself in, when speaking on these sacred names, to regard them in the Hebrew name as best as I could get to truth. Anytime I find truth, you use it. I had this discussion with my son, and I said, if truth was a feeling or a person, truth is probably, you get your feelings hurt. People say they want to pursue truth, and truth is like, yeah, that's why I don't allow people to get to know me or meet me, because they say they want to meet me, but when they meet me, they still hide me. Truth is like, yeah, this is why I say, you're going to search, some people search and never going to find, and some people going to knock, the door is never going to open, because people say they're pursuing truth and they're running after truth and they're doing all this to find truth. And then when they find the truth, they keep truth hidden. I was like, if truth was a person, I would feel so sorry for truth. Like, my heart will bleed for truth. I would like, how does that feel for someone to say they're pursuing you, doing everything to find you, to get you, then they get you and then they just discard you. They still keep you hidden. Like, that must hurt. And I'm just saying, if truth was a person that with feelings, that would hurt. To be pursued after and then just put back on the shelf or stayed hidden. People just want to know that they know you. It's like, know by association. Yeah, I know truth, but I ain't going to let you know it. And truth wants to be known by all, but it's like being kept exclusively. And truth is just like, feelings get hurt. It's just like, why are you pursuing me when you're not making people know about me? It's like having that mistress. It's like truth is just, I just feel for truth. My heart goes out for truth. To be that must hurt. It's like to be pursued, done everything to get, do everything to convince and pursue truth, to get truth and say, I want you in my life, and do everything in pursuit of acquiring that. Like those boyfriends, those men that go out of their way to pursue you. They do everything to get you. They jump through all the hoops, call up people that they know you respect, so that those people could call you and say, hey, this guy is really serious about you because he's calling me. He's telling me, he's going through everybody that he knows that matters for them to come back to you, for you to be like, oh my gosh, I guess this guy is really serious. And this guy do everything to get in your line of vision because he thinks that you think he's joking. So he's doing everything to make you see him as serious so you can drop your guard. And then when you trust in the person that, wow, who would do all that and not be serious, right? And then it turned out that it was just all about the pursuit. That's, I'm sure, how truth feels. People do everything to pursue truth. And truth is like, my God, you're sacrificing all this to pursue after me. I guess you really are serious about having me. Because who would go through all that and then you finally find truth, have truth, attain truth, it's now in your grasp, and then what do you do with it? So, the truth that the children of Israel, the descendants of Jacob, are the Hebrew Israelites, not the ones out there on social media and on the side of the road that's cussing out people and giving a bad name to what it is to be a Hebrew Israelite. And even that, I believe, is part of the plan. Talk about control. It's a playbook that they've done from the beginning of time. Many of you who are so down with the cause, you will know the names and the statement and what they call it. Control opposition, cointelpro. You guys throw all these things around, but it's right in our faces. Because they know eventually, and I said this to an elder, and even in that group, I could feel, that's why I'm just kind of, my son and I were just kind of drawing back, because you can tell people's energies, and there's just energies that are very strong and very loud and clear. So I just lay back, because I'm just, you're just tired of, because I'm not here to blow people up. When I mean blow people up, I mean just to blow up your spot, or it's just like my passion and my desire will always come off strong to weak people. I'm going to say that again. My passion for the pursuit of truth and my desire to attain truth will always come off strong to weak people. Weak people will always be intimidated by my presence. They will always want to be whispering to other people about my presence. People who would organically want to be my friend will now be cautioned by weak people. And then you who listen to that, you're yourself weak. So I'm happy that we did not create a friendship, because you're weak. The people that I know Yahweh is going to send in my life, the people that I've prayed to Elion to send in my life, are friends who are strong in character, people who are loyal to objective truth, people who are not loyal to other people so that people could whisper in their ears, people who are familiar with familiar spirits that are dressed in piety and dressed in righteousness, but their familiarity is to come to you as your countryman and your countrywoman speaking your dialect, and because of that you would cling to them more and listen to them more and not listen to the foreigner, but the foreigner is the one that is being moved by Ruach Kodesh. I don't want your friendship, because you're weak. So it's good that you listen to them, and it's good that you show me who you are. So being a lone wolf is not something that we all want to do, but it's in the best interest that we stay that way, because people like you destroy. So I said to the elder, in regards to the agenda that I see happening in the Hebrew Israelite camp, that my spirit, it was shown at the beginning. When I first came into his assembly and he was showing videos and stuff, there's things that prophetically came. But you see, as I said, weak people who say they are being guided by Ruach Kodesh, they're not. And I could identify them very quick, fast, and hurry up. So I just kind of pull back. I'm just waiting for the true remnants to be connected to those people. Those people who are not intimidated, but they actually look for others like themselves, because we're here for a purpose and a mission. And they themselves know who to listen to and who to take advice and counsel from. I am just waiting for Ruach Kodesh to send me my people and my tribe, my peoples. In the meantime, I'm just going to lay back and just, learn things along the way that I need to connect the dots for me to get to that destination. But I shared with this elder months ago, when he was showing a video, and prophetically things came to him and I shared in that class. But I can tell many energies in that class are very intimidated by my presence, and I just kind of pull back just because I just don't have time for the foolishness. But there's many things that come to me even while I'm in that assembly. Many people just are coming out and talking their dreams, and even the elders like, well, I don't discern dreams, and I'm like, I know it's for me, but I'm not gonna say nothing. Like, people, I think there's been 4 people just randomly come and share their dreams, and they're like, I don't know why, but I just want to share it, and he's like, and I'm like, I know why, because I'm here, but I'm not gonna say nothing, because all you all have you're moving with your emotions regarding my energy. My spirit and your spirit are in some kind of colliding. Like, you have some competition. There's no competingness. So it's just like I'm just like, you know what? My son and I, we just kind of just pull back. We're just like, you know what? We just kind of, until we find our peoples, until we really find our tribe. As they say, in the world, they say find a tribe. But in the meantime, we'll just pull back. But there's many that are given certain gifts for such a time as this, and many are going to unfortunately fall, because we have people with platforms and influence, but they are weak in knowing who they are, and they allow people to speak into them and have them not listen to Ruach HaKodesh. And I said this to the elder, that in the Hebrew Israelite camp, our open enemy, which is the lie of the Anglo-Saxon version of Christianity that went and evangelized and globalized the world, and who is still connected to Rome in all denominations, they have gone ahead of us and have placed certain people in the knowledge of the Hebrew Israelites to muddy up the waters, so when we arrive, it's muddied. So they're out there vexing everybody, cursing out everybody, yelling at everybody, creating enemies. So when other people hear the word Hebrew Israelite, they have a negative connotation. It's no different than what they did with all of the movements that are from the melanated people that was here for good. They muddy up the image of those people and make them seen as terrorists, angry, hateful people to stay away from. And it's the same thing that I see happening in the Hebrew Israelites camp. When you get here, you realize how muddy it is, because who have been gone ahead and muddied up the waters. And they have the platform, they have all of the followers, they have people listening to them, loyal to them, but not loyal to the principles. Because again, just like of old, they require these people to, thus saith the Lord, thus saith Yahweh to them. Like, they're not able to truly discern on their own. Because I'm seeing platforms that many people in the Hebrew Israelite camp are gathering with. And this platform is highlighting things that a Hebrew Israelite shouldn't have no business highlighting, and giving voice and to things that is like, why we even on that topic? Raising up, see this thing about Celestial, talking about Trump, talking about Kamala, and I'm just like, why are we talking about that? We have an issue with the calendar, and certain Hebrew Israelite influencers can't meet together to hash out this important thing, our calendar, but we find time to talk about Celestial, talk about Donald Trump, talk about Obama's children, talking about with all over the place. But the fundamental things that we need to hash out they can't find time to gather and talk about. And then when you meet people, the people that are in their ears are warning them to not get close to you when you are the one seeing things. Ruach Kodesh has been showing you things for years before you realize about being a Hebrew Israelite. That's why the pursuit came to you in that moment of life or death. And you put a challenge out. I know for me, I put a challenge out. And I said, listen, if you are for real, I need to know you for real. Off of the pages of these Bibles, not from what people told me, not from what was handed down through religion and through family and through, I've been through it all. No, I need to know you real for real. Because what? You're going to now give me a death sentence? Hold on. Who does this? Hold on a minute. This doesn't make sense. I'm like, listen, if you're for real, if this diagnosis is supposed to take me out, well, guess what? It's not taking me out unless I am supposed to be taken out, and the I am must be you. You are the author and the finisher of my entire journey. You're the one who is crossing every T and dotting every I in my book called My Human Experience Here. So it's only you who is the author and the finisher of my faith, my walk, my journey, who's going to end it. So guess what? We in it. And when that diagnosis came to me as a result of me standing on truth, the enemy is going to want to take me out because I'm standing against immorality in my family. I'm standing against my husband doing some things that is so immoral. I'm standing against the world trying to come after my children's mindset about what it is to be black. I'm standing against a career that is asking me to frame people and asking me to be in corporate leadership. And for me to do that, the initiation is to frame people. And because I say, no, you're now on a witch hunt to get rid of me because I can't be in the clique if I am not sold out. I'm standing against all of that. And now you're going to give me a diagnosis of death? What? Oh, I was like, okay, hell, I'm like, okay, now it's like, you know, all the other things before, but now, okay, now you piss me off because I'm sorry, what? Now you're coming after me, and it's not really after me. You want to get to my children, but to get to my children, you have to come through me. And because you can't come through me, you got to get me out of the way. So you're going to come through my husband. You're going to come through my mother. You're going to come through my job. You're going to come through my mental health. You're going to come through all of that to all penetrate and throw the arrows to hit me, hitting me from every angle to get me out of the way because you need the next generation. The devil is a liar. I said, listen, I told you since I was a little girl, I remembered that conversation when that snake, the deceiver, decided to want to have a conversation with me. And I said, get behind me. Just like back then I used to say Jesus because I didn't know any better. I said, who the hell do you think you are? Excuse me, please? The last time I checked, I'm a child of God. I'm like, who do you think you are? Let me tell you something. I had a many of you, you all think you all know the enemy. You all think you see him and he is the Hollywood version of Thor and of Pitchfork and all that. Many of you, few of you have really come face to face. Few of you. Trust and believe. Few of you. And since I was a little girl, that moment, I made the deceiver know without a shadow of a doubt, I am sold out to Yahweh. I'm using the right name now, but at that time, I used the name that English language and the Anglo-Saxon Christianity told us. That's the name I used then. The name I use now is the Hebrew name that I've come to the understanding that it is. And unless another truth is being revealed of some archaeology that goes way back, I'm going to use what is shown to me now. That's what you do. When you know better, you do better. When you don't know, you don't know. But every time you know better, you're supposed to now implement what you know. This is why for those elders who know that black is not the word that we use for our people and to identify ourselves, and we know the truth of the energy and the history about of that social construct, and you as a Hebrew Israelite elder still have the word black come out of your mouth to the people that follow you because they are still sucking the milk, and you believe that you still need to help them suck the milk, but you refuse to make them cut the meat and start chewing, and you continue to use the word black, and you fully know you're not supposed to, you're going to be held accountable for keeping the people back because you still want to use black. When you know better, you do better. And if you are in a position of being a leader and people are following you, how will you continue to follow them into a blind space? When you know something, you pass it on. You have them leave those words and those terminologies behind. I know how we expect to go into the promised land and we're still holding on to the past, the things that we need to let go of. We have these cliches of you can't put a new wine in old wineskin. You have Lot's wife who's turning behind and looking, pillar of salt. We have all these cliches, but we have Hebrew Israelite elders and leaders who are still using the word black. And you of all people know the energy and everything that's assigned to that, but you still, because of pride, want to hold on to it because how dare a woman tell you need to let go of it? Well, Ruach HaKodesh is folding arms and watching and taking names. And I said to that elder, the Hebrew Israelites have controlled opposition within. They have the element of cointelpro within. They have everything already within, and it's up to the true leaders to root it out. But you all still want to be nice and want to play nice. And there's an agenda. But you still want to play nice. And you still refuse to want to let go of what you know you should let go because a woman, God forbid, Ruach HaKodesh spoke to me and I'm supposed to tell you, but I'm a woman, so I should know my place. And this is how the fall is. Let me tell you, I'm not going to go too far into that. You know the tripping hazards of Hebrew Israelites is going to be your disdain for women, the lie that you've been told about the woman. In you have a contempt towards women. As a result of the lie that you, even in all of your erudition, you still have about the woman, that is what is always going to trip you up. And it's only the few that I've come across who have heard, received the true revelation. And even in that knowledge, I see some errors in other ways. It's like everybody have some layer of truth and then they're still holding on to some issues that I'm just like, oh my gosh. It's like, I'm like, Yahweh, like who, like, and so this is where my heart bleeds. Because I'm looking for the man, because again, I'm a woman, so Israel say, I don't have too much say, and my words, don't have no weight. So I'm looking at Ruach HaKodesh like, why are you giving me these revelations when you know they're not listening to me because of what apparently you and everybody have told them? That's what they say. They say that the revelation has still told them about the woman. So how are you giving me? And I have a battle all the time, and I get very frustrated because I'm like, where is the man within Israel who also has the revelation? Where? Because so far, the ones I've come across, some have truth and some have narcissism. Some have truth and some have authoritarianism. Some have truth and some have some nepotism. Some have truth. Like, it's still like it's sprinkled. And then don't let me talk about the women that I've come across in the Hebrew Israelite knowledge. Many of them are coming in with some energies. It's like the world is still on them. And it's like, Lord, I don't know. Yahweh, I don't know. So those like Dr. Myles Munroe, you are aiding and you're still aiding and abetting the sleep and the slumber of the melanated people who are in Christianity by them still remaining in Christianity with the lie. I don't mind the word Christianity because even in my journey, I'm finding out that the original Christians were us, and then they changed our identity from Christian. We are the only people whose identities just keep morphing and changing. People just keep putting us in another box, another section. So I don't mind you want to call yourself a Christian because the original Christians were us. The original Jews were us, looked like us, everything like us. We're not Jewish, we are the Jews. Ish is an adjective to describe the liking of, like sweet-ish, sour-ish. That show that was on TV, Blackish. Ish. To be lightened of, like. So we're not Jewish, we are the Jews. We are from Judah. We are Jew. And don't get hung up with the alphabet from the English language and how you spell Jew. Because Judah, we are the Jews from the tribe of Judah. And the 12 tribes of Israel who've been scattered as a consequence for their disobedience and their stiff-necked and their rebellious and them committing adultery and fornicating with all these other gods and all these other religions and all these other isms, and that's the consequence. And everybody loved the fact that we got the consequence because then they can come and rape and pillage everything and then take it as their own and keep us scattered. And they refuse to allow the next stage to happen, which is the gathering of, the reconciling of, the restoration of, and the restitution of. And the repairing of, called reparation, the reparation. They refuse to have those R's completed. They want to keep us scattered because it's in their best interest, because they want to stay at the top. But I said this, no matter how much you come together and you stay confederate in this lie about us and who we are, the people we belong to, the house that we belong to, the house of Judah, the tribes of Israel. No matter how much you try, it's going to come out, because that is the end. It is what it is. My heart just bleeds for how much more generations are going to go through this life cycle and die, because men of knowledge like Dr. Munroe, we're in 2025 now. I'm sure he has children, and I'm sure his children are passing on the legacy of what he's taught. Could you imagine if he did teach the truth, all truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you, Elohim. Could you imagine where we as a people, as a nation, and as a world would be? Because your book of Proverbs tells you, when the wicked are in rule, the people perish and mourn. When the righteous are in rulership, the people rejoice. This is Lady O. Stay in action with faith and possibility. Walk in and protect your light. Your purpose will find you. Say what you mean and live like you mean what you say.